When we're children, the experiences we have, whether good or bad, can significantly impact our lives as we grow up. Negative or traumatic childhood experiences, in particular, tend to stick with us. The idea that we carry this wounded younger self inside our adult self is referred to as the inner child. Even if you're not consciously aware of the pain your inner child is carrying, it may still be influencing your mental health and relationships. Many people who went through hardships growing up have what's called a wounded inner child that needs healing. This is where inner child work comes in. By healing your wounded inner child, you give yourself the opportunity to thrive as an adult. 8 steps toward healing your inner child. Healing your inner child can be life-changing as you move forward. Once you've addressed your childhood trauma and the wounds carried by your inner child, you may experience better mental health, greater overall well-being, and healthier relationships. Here are 8 tips on how to heal your inner child. 1. Get in touch with your inner child. The first step is to connect with your inner child. Inner child work involves going inward, diving deep into your past. You want to create a safe space, somewhere quiet and free from interruptions, where you can interact with your younger self and offer them the comfort and reassurance they might have missed as a kid. You might visualize yourself as a child and speak to that younger version of you, or use a guided meditation to get into the right headspace. Alternatively, you could look at a photo of yourself as a child to help you focus. Try to tap into the emotions your younger self felt back then. Speak with compassion and remind your child self that they are safe and supported now. 2. Practice self-compassion. Self-compassion is crucial during the process of inner child work. You might not have received the non-judgmental love and care you needed when you were young. Maybe you even judged yourself harshly or adopted negative beliefs pushed on you by others. Now that you're older, you can choose to treat your inner child with love and compassion. If you find this challenging, imagine how you would treat a real child in your life, a son, daughter, niece, nephew, or cousin. Giving that same gentleness and understanding to your younger self can make a world of difference. 3. Allow yourself to feel. Many of us grew up with the message that we shouldn't cry, or that we need to keep it together at all times. But to truly heal, you have to let yourself feel. It's safe and healthy to express the emotions that surface, anger, sadness, or pain. Holding them in doesn't help you heal. As you do inner child work, you may also notice physical sensations in your body, like tightness in your chest or a knot in your stomach. Inner child work can be painful, especially if it involves trauma or adverse childhood experiences, ACEs, because it might reopen old wounds. It isn't always pleasant or easy, but it can be profoundly worthwhile. If you've experienced significant childhood trauma, working with a therapist can make this process safer and more effective. 4. Identify key events in your life. When you start exploring your inner child, certain painful childhood experiences might jump out immediately. Take time to identify specific moments or memories where you felt unsafe, invalidated, or unloved, times you were abused, neglected, or bullied. You can create a timeline or list of these events. Reflect on how you felt back then, what beliefs you formed, and whether the adults in your life responded appropriately. Noting these events provides insight into the challenges your younger self endured and a starting point for deeper healing, especially in therapy. 5. Draw links between past and present. As you reflect on past experiences, try to notice connections between how you felt then and how you feel now. For example, if you were bullied for how you looked or performed in school, do you still repeat those criticisms to yourself today? If you experienced sexual or physical abuse, do you sense lingering shame that interferes with your adult relationships? Sometimes these links are obvious, but other times you'll have to dig deeper. Negative thought patterns can persist for years if you haven't addressed them. Inner child work helps you become aware of them so you can finally change them. If you find yourself triggered or overwhelmed by certain situations, Take a moment to consider whether those feelings might tie back to an unhealed childhood wound. 6. Challenge negative thoughts. Healing your inner child often involves unlearning harmful ideas from the past. Keep an eye out for automatic negative thoughts, beliefs like "I'm not good enough" or "I'm unlovable." These beliefs often take